All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Good morning, Mayo. Good morning, Cliff. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday. Thanks for being here, as always. Hope your weekend is going well. I may be having a little bit of coughing and voice issues this morning. I don't know if you guys get that that ache between like the base of your chin and like right here where it just feels like, oh, that's a cough and that's going to become a cold, and that's always good. It's always fun. So we're going to see what we can do today. I got a cup of hot coffee. I'm ready to go. Good morning, Mech Ops. How you doing? And yes, Cliff, you're not last today. You are just second. So we're going to continue with doing the design work that started a while back. If you are new to this process, I am taking Star Wars ships and turning them into late 80s and 90s space-themed ships. I'm theme bending a lot of stuff. So I've already got 4 built. I got 2 more designed, working on the big one now. The AT-AT. Let's see if we can talk a little quieter today. That may help. I'm gonna put the mic real close, and we're just gonna live in here for a little bit. So I'm not shouting at everybody. Let me know if you can still hear me and everything. So got carried away with yesterday, but all I have to do now is make his. Oh yeah, I saw the post in Discord. It's pretty good. Sick of people who say Lego is getting expensive. So I had this discussion. Where was I? I forget who I was talking to. I was just... Was it some random dude in line for a movie? I was talking to somebody... Oh, it was the... So our AC went out. Let me intro this a little bit more and then we'll talk about it. But this is the 8129 AT-AT. So from a few years ago, it's a smaller of the AT-ATs. And this is just one of the Roboforce sets. I don't think any of them got a name really. But this is this one that's supposed to, all of these have little ships that kind of take off from it. So like the head turns into stuff or whatever. So we're going to work with this. Now, I am going to try to build out this little sled that lives inside the AT-AT to be the little ship. So that's where we're going. But you can see kind of the inspiration for this piece right here is directly built right here. And it's roughly the same size as this head. So we're going to build it out a little bit so it's a little bigger. And then last we were working on it was the feet for the legs, and the legs are just going to be on the slidey, it's the shuffle back and forth function that the legs had. This set didn't have it. It was on wheels, but I didn't want to put this one on wheels. I think having the shuffling was better. So I was talking to, our AC went out, and as always, when anybody comes in the house, the very first room they walk through is the Lego room. So they see the wall of Star Wars Lego, and they see the big display here of all the space and birds and stuff like that, and then just storage and boxes, and all the boxes have loose brick or MOCs that are waiting to be shown somewhere. So it's a lot going on for people who just walk in. So he didn't say anything, walked in, did work, was here for about an hour, and then left. And we started talking about it, and he's like, yeah, they're so expensive now. I remember getting, sets when I was a kid, and it was like $20. And I was like, you can still get $20 sets. I was like, you can go to H-E-B and get $15 to $20 sets right now. I was like, they're not huge Millennium Falcon sets. If you want a big set, you got to pay for more of them. I was like, the problem is the pieces got smaller. So it's more complicated to build, but there's more parts. So you're paying for more, the creation of parts. The heft of each set got bigger, I was like, also back in our day, if you bought a $600 set, it would have been the size of a car because they didn't have very small parts. I was like, the prices really haven't changed all that much. The sets have gotten bigger, right? The sets you want have gotten bigger. It's not that Lego has got more expensive. It's that the sets that you want to buy from Lego are bigger. If you were an 8-year-old kid and I gave you a Speed Champion car for $20, you'd be fine, right? But then in another 20 years, when you're like, well, but I want that Technic, Lamborghini, Bugatti, something or other that has a motor in it, has actual steering. It's like, okay, well, that's $500, you know, because it's got all that stuff. It's not that Lego itself is all that expensive. So everybody gets educated, because the big things that come out now are the Minas Tirith and the Enterprise and the Titanic. Yes, those are expensive, but those are 5,000 pieces. You know, it's not, you can still go get a flower or a bunny or a toucan or some race cars or something for 20, 30 bucks. Like, it's still, you can still do all that. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? So I didn't go off on that much of a diatribe, but I was like, oh, they're roughly still the same cost. The pieces are just smaller, but you can still get $20 sets. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, it's just the bigger ones. They're appealing to the older people who have disposable income. They want an Enterprise or a Death Star. It's like, but you can still get 20 buck sets, you know. Yeah, shocking. Bigger equals more money. I'm not sure, like, I want to still spend $20 on Lego, but I want a 5,000 piece Millennium Falcon. Why can't I do that? It's like, I gave up on trying to fight that fight on social media. I hope you had a good drive. You apparently made it safely, so that's good. Agreed. Yeah. Better printing, ideally better printing, better mold making, you know. All that costs money, man. I kind of want to say, you 3D print a 5,000 piece model and see how much that costs you. It's probably not as expensive because you don't have to pay Star Wars for doing it. But, all right, so let's continue on this leg here while we're talking. So last night was not great for us. We had to go to the, and we're still not sure if we're out of the woods yet, but our kitty cat, Fizzgag, started making all kinds of noises. Just those, like, whoa, you know, those kinds of noises. And walking around, and it looked like he was panting, looked like he threw up. And then I was like, I should probably change his litter box. He's probably mad at me. But then I moved the litter box to take it out to the trash to scoop it out. And he went right where the box was and started peeing blood. And I'm like, oh man. And this has been a thing for him. He gets stressed out and this happens. He also gets like crystals in his urine, and male cats have like a ridiculously small urethra. So it's always touch and go with boy cats that something like this could happen. You could, like the vet said, you could move a piece of furniture and it stresses them out to the point where they don't pee for a week. And it's like, these are hale and hardy animals, I tell you. So anyway, and he starts doing his panting stuff. So we went to this is like at 11 o'clock last night. And of course it's 11 o'clock at night. It's not 2 in the afternoon when we can go to the regular vet. So we had to go to the emergency hospital and all kinds of tests, and he's mostly fine. They didn't really see any crystals in there. They just said he's probably just stressed and having a hard time going to the bathroom. X-rays are okay. Blood work was okay. Blah, 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 right? It still costs. I'm lucky we had a Care credit card, which is a predatory company, but it didn't eat into our vacation funds, which is good. But now he's on gabapentin. He's walking around high, his mouth hanging open a little bit. My big concern was that he likes jumping up on counters. And so our initial thought was he got into a bag of Sun Chips, and we thought maybe something didn't agree with him with the Sun Chips, and we didn't notice it right away. What is that piece called? It's not a pillar. So he's fine now, but oh, it's called a support. That's what it's called. And then there's B, so I'll just do B. And these can be any color, but I'm going to do black. Because these were pieces that were available at the time. I got a boot Friday after work before a Lego boot. Okay, I thought like we had a thing called the Denver boot where you got a boot on your car because you were parked illegally. So he's fine now, but he's high and we're having to keep an eye on him going to the bathroom. But he's eating and he's not vomiting. I was cleaning a sink. I had a bunch of like Drano, plumber's helper kind of stuff because we have a drain that's not draining in our bathroom. It's likely a hair clog somewhere. So I've been pouring stuff down and then waiting for it to drain. And it drains pretty good. Like if I just sit there and wait for it for a minute or two, and then you wait 15 minutes and flush it with hot water. And I've done it 3 times and it's not working. So I'm like, well, probably have to call a plumber or get a snake or something like that. Post it in Discord. I don't want to bring up Discord here just because it might steal the camera. What the heck? Where is that from? Is it a real set? Or did you just find it somewhere? That is wild. Oh, it's actually a Lego thing. Did you get it on an auction or something? Oh, it's so dirty. Ugh. Yeah, everybody go to the Discord and check out In Work in Progress, the WIP channel. Ugh, that looks gross. Store display from 75. That's amazing. Well, can you, I guess it's not glued. They use this solvent that binds the bricks basically. I was going to say, can you take it apart and clean it all and put it back together? There weren't many round plates at this time frame, but I think I'm going to be okay using one. So I was worried that Kitty got into the Drano somehow. Like I poured it, waited, it drained, he jumped up there and like licked the sink or something. And I was like, oh no. So that was my initial thought. So I still have, no, I'm not going to use it for this. I was like, I still have these iridescent panels, right? But I think I'm going to use them for something else. Higher up on the ship. I'm not going to use them for the legs. I don't want to get too complicated and like greeble all the way up, and there was no real Technic here. But maybe I could hide some Technic somewhere. It's actual glue, weird. Anyway, nothing wrong with his stomach, so they didn't have to pump his stomach, and there's no poison issues. It's just, when you can't go to the bathroom, he gets into a lot of pain and freaks out, and everything spirals after that. So, and he's old, he's 13-ish. And he's had kidney problems most of his life. He got so bent out of shape at us going away for like 4 days a week, something like that, that he had this actual issue. So I'm trying to think of something that would look good as a very long leg, but in this style. And I can't really think of what to do here. It needs to be supported, but I also maybe want to greeble it a little bit because it looks like there's just a mass of different parts to get up here. So, definitely going to use the tubes once we get to the top. What's the longest axle? So, you know, then we get home at 1 in the morning and have to force feed him a pain pill, and not a great way to spend an evening. I think 32 is too big. Yes, that's way too big. 12? Not big enough. 16? I think 16 is about as big as it's going to get. So let's... cheapest color, white. That can't be right. Let's see how expensive this part really is, because I don't want to muck with it if I don't have to. $16. White Technic axle for starts for $4. There's no way. All right, so gonna go with 12. I think 12 is cheaper. Milky white is the cheapest color? What? That can't be right. It should just come in black. Yeah, that's better. It's like the cheapest color is not milky white. Didn't even really know that was a color. Okay, this is so dumb. Excuse me. So there's 5,000 black ones on sale. There's 2,000 and some red ones on sale. There's 200 milky white ones on sale. And each of them, you can only get one at a, there's maybe no stores that have them in the US. And they go everywhere from $32 to $7. So this is an indication of you should always double check the prices. The price guide in here is not good. Whereas this black axle is pennies. It says it's 30 cents in here, but it's not 30 cents. And you probably have some hanging around. That's the thing. 2 cents. And I need 4 of them. They're all right. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. Average price, oh, it's coming from the average price sold 30 cents, which means somebody's selling these things for like $7 and getting away with it. All right, so I'm going to replace this one with more blue. Where's that blue guy? Because I'm going to stick an axle in it. Put this guy back on. Put this axle in. Go down to about there. The higher the better, but you got to tell me when to stop. I think that's good. Okay. And then we're going to do some more up here. These guys probably aren't very expensive, so let's just do this. And then we will... So there's a thing called color ratio when you're doing this kind of theme work. Every set has a certain ratio of colors to it. And when you're designing, if you're doing throwback stuff, when you do classic space, it's like the ratio of gray to blue is like 60-40. And then it's got, you know, but it's really like 55 to 40. And then you've got like 2% of it is yellow and 2% of it is trans red, like that kind of balance, right? I don't think anyone really has an official list of like how things are ratioed in terms of color for these things, especially this guy, because he wasn't really he was part of a theme, but everybody was different. So it's not like the overarching color theme for Roboforce was 40% gray, 20% blue, but just in looking at this, you can tell it looks like the primary color is gray, but only just. There seems to be a lot of black in here too, in terms of like highlighted things, but also wheels, the claws, the panels, things like that. The trans neon green is very prominent, but it's not structurally important. It's mostly for lights and lasers and weapons and the canopy and radio antennas and stuff like that. So it's accenty, right? The blue is in it occasionally, but not as much as either the black or gray. So it's almost like 40-40-20. So when we're looking at our guy here, this is going to be way too much gray if we leave it. So we're going to have to put a lot of black in here just to balance it out. But I think also highlighted blue. So I think like the level of blue we've got so far up in here is probably not bad. Like you can see it, but it's not crazy. All that is to say, like I'll probably keep the foot area mostly gray, but then build it up with some black pieces going up. I'm just trying to think of a good, like these would work going up the sides. And then I can intersperse them with some snot bricks. We'll do some snot bricks here. I also want it to be kind of stable. So we're going to do a corner plate around these guys. And those will be gray. Ah. So other than my cat issues, how's everybody else's weekend going? Johnny's back from Florida. Laundry stinks? Like doing laundry stinks, or your laundry actually stinks? I also kind of want to start narrowing it a bit, but not too much. So let's do brick modified, and we'll do one of these big guys. It probably stinks too. Yeah, I've got to do some laundry here. Now this had something in here that I want to use. This little guy right here doesn't seem to be doing anything other than holding stuff up. Like I think there's a rounded plate right here that it's plugged into, and then a jumper down here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat this up here. And then in between, we're gonna do, I don't know if that's a modified brick. Yeah, I guess it is. It's got such other weird pieces on it that you don't think of it as a brick. That's not gonna fit in there though. And also it's not gonna fit. There we go. 45 degrees. Will the studs get out of the way? Nope. All right, so the studs will still conflict there, so we'll use this guy later. What else can we use along here? Guess just more of these. Round plate. Return the sand collar, like you're returning it because you got it was not put together well, or you're taking it there because you want to sell it. Okay, so it has grill plates on here, I'm sure. What color? Black? Getting ready for bed while listening. Well, I appreciate you listening. The sultry tones of Lego After Dark. I'm your host. I'm basically making big columns, so maybe I'll just repeat this whole thing. Get right up in front of it. I thought I said don't pick that axle, but guess what it did? Okay, well, it's time to do connect. That's just about perfect. Take that out. And then I'm going to use plates. I wonder if the math will work here. I was checking the pieces to make sure it was all there for them because I do want to buy it. Don't have one yet. I'll need to do, then eventually do tattooing. So they got it like in a bulk thing, and then you took it to check all the pieces, and now you're taking it back to them to buy it from them. We used to have stores like that where we would verify sets, and then we would get store credit for helping doing that, but it wasn't a Bricks and Minifigs. It was a local lady that owned a kind of what Bricks and Minifigs turned into, just a local shop that also did like kids' birthdays and stuff like that. It was super cool. I wish it was still around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a 5? And it's just off. So if I were to do I know this will fit. Get in there. Okay. Oh man, what is it with this brick math? Because I don't think this will work either. Oh, maybe it will. Nope. It's just off just enough to make it piss me off. And I don't know how far that needs to come out. They got it from a guy that has a lot of... He sold to them, but this last book had a lot of stuff missing. So, oh, okay, cool. That's cool. I kind of wish, like, we could do that with our... I mean, I don't know that they don't do that, but I feel like you'd have to build up a level of trust with whatever AFOL is coming into your shop to be like, hey, I can take this out of here and go home and verify it and clean it up and whatever for you. And then for store credit or discount or something like that. What else is a snot brick? Those 1x1 curved stud. Nope. Round stud. Yeah. Morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Sitting here watching my favorite YouTuber person who's inspired me looking up as a role model. Oh, that's awful sweet. Thank you. I will endeavor not to swear and do drugs while on this channel. Then if I'm being an inspiration to people. Welcome in from Australia, Atlanta. That doesn't work either. Maybe just... Will a 6 fit in there? Or will that bump into that top? I think it'll bump into the top. Okay. Which means I could probably raise this up one more go. This whole thing. Minus the axle. Ugh. Well, 4-day weeks aren't too bad. That's how they normally come into people's chats. Got it. Stanchion. I need the axle. Where's the axle? Where's the axle? It's not picnic axle. Okay. Let's raise it up. Put this here. That's still not going to work for... something like this. Nope. Does not work. Okay, well, what will work? Tired of this math. Tired of this software not there. Thank you. Jiminy Christmas. There's only like 3 places it can attach, and it doesn't want to do any of it. So, back at grad school. Good luck with grad school. I don't understand. This should be working then. Why isn't this not? Is it not spaced right? Oh, because I have a plate in there. No, that shouldn't be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is. One. Oh, it is a plate up and then another plate there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if I see if I've got this sorted then. Spending entirely too much time on this. There's a way to lower these by plate. So let's put it back down here, and then we're gonna raise it up by plate height. So that should be 1 plate. So if my math's right, if we do 2 plates, that should fit. N'est-ce pas? Yes. Okay. Which means in here somewhere. or I don't need this. And I can lower this all by one plate. That's why you're kind of tired right now? I get it, man. Beth is actually thinking of going back to school for some more policy-focused work so she can apply her social work therapist knowledge to more of creating policy for at-risk youth, LGBTQ youth, kind of that kind of thing. She wants to be able to help the world a little more. So she's looking at different grad schools. She's kind of focused right now on SMU, which is a Methodist University in Dallas. Just kind of poking around, get some information, talking to people, figuring out what she can and can't do, how much it costs, that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. She's not going to do anything until next year anyway, but starting to get the ball rolling. Oh, come on. Get in there. Okay, we'll color that one black. All right. That took entirely too much time. Uh-oh. I think I left a... There we go. Okay, so... Okay, so we'll throw another one of these black discs inside here. And then I think what we'll do is... Yeah, probably. I mean, I figured that's how most colleges will handle conference stuff in the U.S., especially Southern football heavy schools. And SMU isn't even really a football heavy school, but a school like Baylor would probably do something similar. So we're pretty much done with these legs. Let's greeble them now. So we got this guy that we can copy. Okay. Then we're going to attach this whole thing. I think we're going to do some more of these bricks up top. So let's slide this whole thing out real quick. And we'll do more bricks here. And here. And here. And here. And then... I kind of want to do something not... Well, you know what? We're going to put more greebles and stuff on this. So let's put a couple more of these up here. Just to make it a little stable. And another blue guy in here. And this should all be able to connect up here. So let's... greeble it before we move it. So it looks like we can do stuff like I want to repeat some of this. Maybe up here. Like that. I don't like that. Definitely gonna put one of these. Let's put them right here. All the way around. Okay. And then I think there's a modified plate that's got the two little things on it, on the ends, the round things. I thought it'd be a 2x2 modified plate. Is it called something else? It's got a 2x2 plate on it. There it is. I just overlooked it. Can we get two of these to meet up? Cool. And then we will do... All right, cool. And then up here, that's enough for now for that area. What do we do up here? I think that's a good mix. I think it kind of fits the theme. So let's go ahead and attach that guy. We'll make this a group. Make sure that we got everybody in that group. This is egregious. It looks pretty hilarious. That is funny. I might go back and change it to be like there's more on the outside than there is on the inside, so it looks more like a walker. Like take some of the greebling off the inside and do like, because we didn't have a whole lot of tiles back in these days, so like tiling stuff up wasn't a thing. And I got to be careful of this down here, so maybe have it come straight down instead of these slopes and just have the 3 on either side. But I'm gonna go ahead and save this. All right, take care, Johnny. Thanks for coming by. It looks like this, right? Actually could use more black. No, I think it's a good mix. We'll use more black up at the top here as well. So let me show you. I am gonna take some of the greebling on the inside off, because I think I want to add something additional on the outside. So we'll edit one of them and it'll say yes, it'll affect all of these. So all 4 of these will change, but I'll have to rotate them because they'll obviously be in the exact same orientation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this guy on the inside and this guy on the inside. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to replace this guy with that modified brick that I wanted to use earlier. This guy. You can see it's already replacing. It's already going to put him in that. That's kind of weird. The ghostly wireframe replacements going on all the other models. Let's do 2 of these, and we'll do a jumper. Let's see, tile. It's a modified tile. I never remember what category it's under, so I'm just going to type jumper. Gotta make sure you get the right one. That's not the right one. That's the right one. So we'll do this guy up here. And he'll be black. This guy will be black. We'll do 2 of these guys. Maybe. Will this guy get in the way up here? Yeah, that won't work. Okay. I thought this would be okay. Goes up 1. Nope. I was kind of hoping to get 2 of those guys in here. Well, what's another greebling thing that we can do? Oh, these guys. Okay. So let's get rid of that and that. And do an antenna. In black. Does that not go all the way through? Oh, this is the square top one anyway. I thought these went all the way through. Take a look. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Doesn't look like it doesn't go very far up. It goes to that first junction. Okay. Well, this guy's causing me problems, so what I'm going to do, since we've got these black circles, is I'm going to put one of these black circles down here, and then put this guy here, put this guy like this, and then just repeat it. Does that work, or is it just funning with me? Yeah, that doesn't work. Lego math! Looks cool. Can always shore up the guy up top and just connect that. And then laser thing underneath here. Bob's your uncle. There. Get rid of that. Okay, so now that's been done on all three of these, I just need to rotate. It's funny how it doesn't rotate perfectly. Have I mentioned we're having fun? Okay, that looks better. It still feels like a mess, but it looks better. Okay. All right, so legs done, which means I can get rid of these. So the next step now that the legs are done is I want to see if we can reattach this thing. All right, Mayo, take care. Thanks for hanging out. This is sitting a little bit in front. And I don't want to get too much in the way of the head, so I don't want to pull this too far in. But maybe see, this doesn't need the same drive thing that this does. So what I can probably do, these are all going to shift as well. This is cool looking, but I don't think it's necessary. Same with this guy in the back. I don't think it's necessary. Actually, now that I think about it, nope. Well, I don't need this. But maybe I can do modified brick. Let's do something in here. That just looks too naked. Let's do that. There. I still like this on the inside over here. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Well, I was looking for something. I was gonna grab one of these. If we replace that with this, and don't really need this, or this, or this, or that. Okay, will this not go in the middle? Connect. Oh, it won't. It doesn't like that. It doesn't have a connection point in there. Let me see if that actually works. Sometimes you gotta do it in real life. And I should have got something a little more stable. I don't think it wouldn't work, but maybe there's something. Yeah, it works. Works just fine. There's just not. It's not programmed to allow it. So the software doesn't understand that you can do that. And it would take forever to line that up. So we're gonna help it along. I'm gonna put that in there, and that, and that. I don't think necessarily that I don't want to not use newer pieces, but what colors can I get away with doing? It's not the same green. Does it come in blue? It does. It's pretty expensive in blue. How about just black? Okay. All right, so let's work on this head a little bit, and then we'll figure out how to attach it. So I want to lower this down so we can work on the same scaling and figure out how to attach it. But I build it on the floor so it's, we can kind of keep an eye on it. So I want it to be longer. I want it to have like some guns. It needs to fit a pilot. So I'll have to make a, what does a Roboforce pilot look like? They've got these scuba mask thing looking things, but they're just classic space. Roboforce. Why is caps lock always on? Roboforce minifigures. So here's the one I'm looking at, and it's definitely got the, it's got that Roboforce torso and the sunglasses head, but they all have that scuba look by the looks of it. So let's see if they've got that print in here. They might. I'm just going to type Robo. They don't. Okay. So knowing I'll have to go get one of those, I just want to make a regular minifig, and I don't really care about the rest of it. We'll just make a general one so the shape, I know what the shape looks like. I don't think it has any. Oh, it does have a backpack. It has an air tank. Okay, so we need an air tank. Okay, then we need legs. I'll break all these apart later. And then helmet. And I'm going to say hose, because I think it's this one. Right? Yeah. And then we got visor. I don't think the visor really gets in the way, but just want to make sure I have all the parts to it. What? Okay. What is going on? What is happening? Oh, I have to release these. So, release, release. For some reason it wasn't. Thank you. Something got really... Look, all I want to do is have a regular torso. Fine, you're all going to get disappeared and replaced, because I don't have time to monkey with you not working right. Now you move. Go with the hand. Come on, man. Okay. So now I need to be able to get him sat in here with some controls. The controls I'm not going to be able to really see in here, but my guess is the old... Yeah. So there's a part, and I don't know what the name of it is. Oh. Control panel. This is it exactly. So this is the part that goes in here. I don't like that it's facing away, because I think it could face towards you, and you put a little tile on it that's got like a little panel that would be cool. But for some reason they've got it facing the other way. Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. So this needs to be in there with antenna. Which we will release so we can move this. And of course, this will kind of line up with the minifigure. With its hands. So we'll have to figure that out. But we'll just put this... Get this out of the way. Give me 1 second. So this is kind of the fun of doing studio, is even though I've plotted all this stuff, and it may seem like I want to get an AT-AT in here, like buy an AT-AT and then just start replacing the parts. It may be just easier to start sourcing the parts based off this than it is to buy a whole set and then discard 70% of the set, right? Like, I may go through here and recolor some of the stuff, but I also may keep most of the shape of this so it looks like an AT-AT, right? The only reason I did the legs this way is so I could get them on the slidey thing. Very could have changed it to keep the angles of the knee joints and stuff, but I mean, the whole point is to have stiff legs that do this. If you have legs that do this and have bendy knees, it's going to be really wonky, so. But if I keep the top of it, it looks like an AT-AT, right? Everybody will know, oh, that's an AT-AT. So, but I'll replace some things and make it less angular, maybe. So take, like, a lot of these panels are on these hinges in here. So like this whole panel is, there's this complicated set of lift arms and Technic bricks that make this angle, and then the panels are kind of stapled onto that. So if we got rid of that, it would change how it looked completely. But if it was like a box and then two smaller boxes outside of it, that might work. So we can get to that when we get up here. I am keeping some of like the internal framework. I feel like just because I want this structure right here, which holds this lift arm, which then kind of holds this in place, which is where the head joint goes to, could very well take all of this out. And just keep this like on a brick, but I feel like having this all kind of tied together gives the head some stability, so I'm not going to muck with that too much. All right, so there was discussion about taking this and replacing a part in here. So let's look at how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and release all this for now because we're going to redo it. So I like the idea of keeping the top part of this. And I'm going to try to figure out how to put this in here and line it up right. And then we'll figure out how to attach it. So if we get it lined up with the rest of the... So I think that's pretty close. Like that. Can't really tell from this, but I think that's good. And then so in here, we'll figure out a way to make that work. And the whole reason for this is so that I can also have stuff down here that sticks out a little bit and becomes the AT-AT Walker guns on the sides of the face. So this kind of stuff right here. These things, unfortunately, they're cool, but they don't give you a lot of attachment points. So we're going to try to figure out how to do that. There is a good piece. It's an inverted slope, but it's two-sided. This guy right here, I think this would do well in this instance. Go ahead and get rid of this other guy over here. So I think he would do well in here. Like this. If I can get him in there. Because I want to leave room in here for the pilot, but I also want to make sure that we attach all this stuff. And it doesn't look, well, I don't even think I need this. Maybe I could just go straight across. Yeah, let's try just going straight across with a plate. I'll keep that in mind for later. So I know Bev and Missy are flying to Connecticut. Hello, Bricks with Justin. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So I think what I want to do is first figure out how to do the gun, these big guns. They do use, so there's going to be copious amount of use of these trans neon green discs. We're going to use a lot of these antenna up here as part of this. But they'd also used, I think, I don't see a lot of antenna. But there's also these, like, what I call, like, we used to call them thrusters when we were kids, but they are rounded brick. I don't know if they're modified brick or just these guys. So we're going to use these guys a lot. Probably facing out like this. And then we're going to do dish, an inverted dish. Nice relaxing Sunday. That's always nice. At this point we're going to do antenna. The old rounded antenna top. It's going to be black. I'm going to put him in here. And a couple of these. So these are the smaller guns, technically, of the AT-AT. My relaxing Sundays usually involve chores. My wife hates it. She doesn't understand what relaxing Sunday means for me. Because she will relax on a Sunday, and I'm like, I can't do that. I've got to do stuff. Okay. Actually, I might leave these for the big guns on the bottom chin. Like that. With a dish in front of it. And then maybe a cone. I think these cones can be this color, right? Yep. So like that. We'll do two of these down on the chin. We'll figure out how to attach them later. This guy, I think I kind of want to use these pieces again. So Bricks with Justin, what is the last Lego thing you worked on? You working on anything fun? I'm gonna do a black cone here. Any cool MOCs? Any fun sets or anything? I think one dish is okay. No, I'll do two. In for a penny. Lloyd's Mech Jet, nice. Let's color this black and both of these black. Color these black, please. Jiminy Christmas. Oh, this has like a wedge plate underneath it. Big old wedge plate. That's good to know because this is kind of a wedge thing too. So let's throw a couple wedge plates in there. No space for mocking. You'll get there. It's a constant work in progress. I think they used probably old school pieces like this, and these don't come in light blue gray. So I'm gonna have to get a more modern piece because they only came in light gray. Let's do this. Now, technically, these all came off as spaceships, but I don't remember how this one detaches. I feel like this whole thing detaches, which makes like kind of no sense. The instructions might have it where it shows you how it all comes off, and I have a feeling this is all like support underneath it, but like tiled or railing plate or something to where it just sits on it but doesn't actually come off, which we don't have to worry about because this is going to be pinned in here. So it's going to have this long axle that goes in here. So we can worry about that later. All right, so get these guys out of the way. Actually, let's put these guys in here. Just pick a spot and throw this guy in there. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. I have a build room set up and it's always a mess. Every surface is covered with piles of unsorted sets or sets that need to be, and now that like Brick Rodeo is done, I got a lot of extra of the Con MOC, so I got a lot of extra Con MOC sets. I only need really one of them, so I've got all the pieces that go with this. I got bags of cool parts. I've got sets from games that you played. The swag bag came with a couple small Ninjago sets. So Beth and I both got those. So it's a matter of like taking all those apart, sorting out all the parts, putting them where they need to be, figuring out where I can put all this stuff because some of my drawers are getting too full. All right, so let's do another circular plate. Black. Here. And I don't know if that'll fit. It will, but it won't look pretty. Yeah, that should be all right, I guess. Wanted to attend Brick Rodeo for the first time this year, but life happened and it snuck up on me. That always happens. Life has a way. Man, there's a really great piece. Scope. So it'll be in the same place next year if you start planning now. It'll be at the Kalahari again next year. Oh, that's not exactly what I wanted. This is a cool piece, but I was hoping for openings here or studs there. There is another, like the inverted slopes. No, those don't have the right ones. Maybe just a good old fashioned bracket. Except I want it kind of to slope up a little bit. Yeah, let's go back to that slope part. This guy comes in black, doesn't he? Yes, okay. And then we can just put a bracket here. Let's put a brick in here. We've got grill, you know what? We've got these grill bricks. I'm going to reuse a lot of these. So if you buy in bulk, you can get a lot of these extra parts that you can use internally. Oh, that gets in the way of... Shoot. All right, well, maybe not. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't hitting that. Was it? I can't tell because your hand is in the way. No, that looks okay, except I can't put anything else on top of it, so that sort of defeats the purpose. Plate. Let's make these blue. Just 'cause. And then... brackets. So if you would have attended Brick Rodeo this year, did you have any set or MOCs that you wanted to bring or anything? Or is it just a matter of like couldn't get flights out or anything like that? I also don't know where you're at currently. So this is the old school. This might work pretty well. Except it's not the right height. This is... Where's the old school bracket? This guy. And that won't line up with that at all. Alright, so my lining this up with the rest of this is going to be a problem. So I may have to do it with a hinge. Because I don't know if any bracket is going to line up with this at all. That kind of looks like it might. It's going to be slightly off. Oh, that works. Okay. I don't want that to fall off, and this is going to be kind of a cheat because it's a newer piece, but I want to make sure this doesn't fall off. So we're going to put this in here. And that should hold that in place pretty well. Nice. I'm excited about that. I had something I built when I lived in Washington State, but broke down most of it due to no space. Got it. Oh, San Antonio. Okay, yeah. Nice. Are you part of the San Antonio leg? With Mark and all them cats? Robert? Alright, I like this. I think what I want to do with this, though, is put this on a jumper. So we're going to get jumper. Ain't in a log or anything, so just doing it, looking at chat. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you stumbled upon my humble little channel. If you ever want to hook up with the lug down there, they're good people. I think Austin and San Antonio may be roughly the same size. I think San Antonio might be a little smaller. And I don't know about their activity level, like what they do or anything, but they've got, I think, 2 stores, or a store in the Discovery Center, and then Bricks and Minifigs and stuff. Okay, so I'm tempted to do round jumper, tile jumper, 2x2 round tile. Do that with this, and then the guns can rotate a little bit. And then I can also put a grill tile on here as well. And we get a lot of people like that where they're like, I just want to, you know, I don't necessarily want to do anything. I just want to chat with people. So there's also these guys in this color, and I'm going to start doing that up here because they come in that color in this set. So I think we're at a good spot. Save that, and then we'll just try to repeat everything we can. So not this and not this, but then this, 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 this. And we'll do copy, mirror, and hopefully this all fits over here like so. Oh, I'm missing these pieces. Please and thank you. Why aren't you going in there? Now I can add this back in. Why do I have 2 of them? That's weird. What the what? Okay. That was kind of odd. I don't remember. Oh, man. Cool. So this is our fairly close in scale head. So we'll close up the back end over here. Looks like they have just like stacks of bricks and stuff. And I'm going to try to keep the hoses. That's going to be fun. If you guys have never played with hoses in Studio before, that's a lot of fun. Let me see if I can find this hose. So it's going to be this guy, probably. They only exist in light gray. So I might still have a couple of these. I don't know if they exist anymore in, if they make these anymore in other colors other than like black and white and stuff, but they are all very old. So it doesn't really matter which one I get, but I think it's this one with the little knots on it. So with hoses, in Studio, there is a function that allows you to move them between spaces. So ideally, this is going to be and I don't want to do it just over here just yet to mess it up, but I'll show you kind of what we're going to work with. We're going to do brick, 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 I think. 1, 2, 3. This looks like it's got something else in there, but I'm just going to do this. Modified brick. And we're going to do this piece because that looks like it will seat better. All right, so this connects basically to here, right? But then you want to be able to connect the other part to here. So because it's a hose, several hoses in Studio now have the ability to be moved. So you have to click on the hose function here. It's hard to see in the stream, but there's a little thing that looks like a round hose, right? Little symbol. So if you click it, you can select any part along the segment and move it. And I'm not going to do it because it gets wacky. It's got real like ragdoll physics. So, and it depends on the angle that you're looking at it. I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, probably. Okay, sorry about that. To get some water, my voice was giving out. Ooh, that's still full of liquid IV. All right, so like I was saying, this function will also kind of depends how you're looking at it. So like if you grab a middle of the hose and you do this with your mouse back and forward, it really tries to like pin it to the build space, but it also hangs onto your mouse. So it can make these really weird like tesseract kind of 4-dimensional shapes with your hose. So you gotta be really careful about it. I only really use it so I know where to connect both parts. So if all you want to do is that, you can hit that hose selector and then you can see it'll let you select each of these parts. So what I want to do is I want to use my arrow keys to turn it the way I want, and then very carefully grab it and attach it to where you want to go, and then just let go of it. It's gonna do whatever it wants to do. I don't know if you saw it when I was moving it, but it was just like it kind of like you move part of it and then it kind of chain ripples back down. It like all the parts try to follow it. So if you yank it really far away, it's going to like snake over there and kind of slow down. It's a weird physics part in this. All right, take care, Justin. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again. I'll be streaming again Thursday night, and I think I'll be streaming with my kid on his Twitch channel sometime this week, Monday or Tuesday. So I'll post something in Discord or on Blue Sky about it. But this is basically like how we're going to do that. So it actually looks like it's connected and it looks like the thing, right? So bye, love you. You want all the kisses all the time.
What's our anniversary? Did you mention that?
Huh? It is, but Nobody can hear that. And I also don't think anyone's on. I think everybody bailed. Missy and Bev are traveling. Johnny got had to go drive somewhere. The couple people who were in here had to go do stuff. So I think it's just me talking to myself. I love you too. See you tonight. We're making really great progress on this. I'm enjoying all the things. So I also want to see. I'm going to put print on. Hey, Mac Ops is still here. So we do have tiles, and we do have these things. So there are things that we can put in here if we want to. I don't need that. But if we wanted to do... I have a feeling... Let's just keep this gray. This looks like this, and then this tile is here, right? Kind of looks like that. And then we'll do a black brick up here. Actually, these look like they're on the bottom. And then we're going to do another grilled brick. Like that. And then we're going to put just a regular brick next to this. That's black. And then that's going to be covered with probably a slope, I would guess, up top here. Yeah. Looks like 2 slopes. So just old school slopes. Something like this. In black. So I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to move it to here. Oh, this looks like it goes farther back. It also looks like it's raised up a level. So let's put it here. Looks like there's more to this. Also, the hose can go farther out, so it doesn't have to get in the way of anything. That's right, you've been putting it on in the background. Yep. So, yeah, I think there was another level. I'm not trying to recreate this exactly, but just to give an idea. This plate may also be bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is this? Yeah, that's an 8 by 3. But I think also these are older plates. These are those angled plates. These should be just as big. So let's delete this hose, because I do want to make sure to get this working properly. And I do think we need to put this on the back here. And like I said, this is just trying to get it as close as possible. Doesn't have to be exact, but what they're not doing is closing up this bottom thing. So I may repeat this bottom guy here. Actually, no. It just looks like they're just filling this full of bricks back here, like not really caring about let's do an inverted slope. No. You know what would be really cool though? It doesn't have to attach down here. I just realized it can attach to the guns. And I think that would be even cooler. So let's push this in here. And since we got a plethora of these... Nope. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like they close off the back end of this. Or maybe they do. And I'm just being naive. Oh, speaking of stuff, like, we went and saw, Odyssey on, oh, come on, man. Control, select, move. Thank you. There we go. Now that's lined up properly. Get another one of these blue plates in here. We went and saw Odyssey on Friday. And holy crap. Let me tell you how intense this movie was. It was long, but it didn't... There were a couple stretches where it felt like people were talking for a really long time, and it didn't seem like they were talking about anything important, like they were just talking to talk. But it was... I sort of slowed down and realized that this is based off an epic poem, and there's a lot of translations, different translations over the centuries. So they're trying to hold true to this could be a story. This is a song sung by blah, 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 blah. So anytime somebody gets a little wordy, it's like, okay, that it fits the idea of this kind of story. But there were a lot of scenes that were just terrifying. The basic story of the Odyssey, if you're not aware, is after the Trojan War, one of the guys, Odysseus, they're all sailing home, and this is after 10 years of the siege of Troy. They're all sailing home, and his commander, Agamemnon, takes a certain route, and he tells he tells his crew, we're not going to follow Agamemnon. We're going to go a different way home because we don't have to feed ourselves. We're a smaller group. He has to get people home right away. So they're taking the straight route home, but he's going to take a different route home to like see the world kind of thing. Like, let's go explore a little bit. There's no reason to rush home, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm not really sure that's the motivation. Anyway, they happen upon all these misfortunes along the way home. Like the entire coast and islands along where they're traveling home, every place has got something terrible in it. And every place like whittles down his crew until there's nobody left but him. So that's the main story. And there's all like, you've upset the gods, and so now you're cursed and all this kind of stuff. And then he gets home and he can't really trust the people who are home with him, and blah, 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 blah. There's a whole sub-story with his wife and his son, and that's also very tense because it's like, it feels like a powder keg waiting to explode. And there's a lot of really sad parts with like a dog. Yes, there's some dog death in this, and it's like, ugh. But all the misfortune that happens to his crew along the way is horrifying. Like, they did a really good job with a lot of practical effects, and it was very loud. So we went and saw it in IMAX, and the whole thing was just like booming in your ears, and you're like, I can't even handle this anymore. What's going on? So the scene with the Cyclops, I'm not going to ruin it because you really should go see it, or you should see it at some point. I don't necessarily think you have to see it in IMAX. IMAX was fine, but like, it was a lot to sit through that. It was so much. And the scene with the Cyclops, like I went with my oldest, and we were talking about it afterwards, and they just sent me a link. Apparently, it was all practical effects and photo comps, right? So the Cyclops was an actual person that they filmed that had like a prosthetic head, and just absolutely terrifying. Like, from the time they got into the Cyclops' cave till the time it basically chased them off the beach, 100% adrenaline rush, like the entire time, right? And I already have like an aversion, like, what is it, megalophobia or whatever it is, fear of large, or aversion to large things. So statues, like really big statues, bother me. The game Shadow of Colossus was kind of hard to play because it was a big lumbering. Pacific Rim was hard for me to watch. I don't like big things, but I also don't like when big things look like they're being destroyed or hurt, right? Something about that. So this scene with the Cyclops was just, I couldn't handle it. It was so weird. This can go 8. Let's just go 8. But I would recommend it. Like, the whole movie was very loud, and it's Christopher Nolan, so the movie is loud, but then also you have a hard time hearing people, right? The speech gets a little absorbed into the background. I feel like, yeah, whatever. I want to make this bigger because it's the AT-AT head, so it doesn't have to be exact as what is this, 6? I don't know, let's repeat what we've done already over here so I don't lose track. Yeah, give it a shot. I totally think it's worth it. There's also every star in the universe was in it. Like every current big name. And there were a couple that I didn't realize were in it. So it's Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, the big 3. But it also has Robert Pattinson, John Barenthal, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, John Leguizamo. I'm trying to think of all the other characters who were in it. The guy who played Agamemnon, I don't know who he is, but he was like Darth Vader the whole time. Huge person, all black armor, like the braid of his helmet coming off the back looked like golden vertebrae. Just terrifying. Like all his men were, I didn't recognize any of the actors playing all his men. His second in command looked really familiar, but I don't know what he was from. But every time someone new came up, I'm like, they're in this? That's wild. So I had a good time. All right, you get in there. So because John Barenthal, Zendaya, and Tom Holland were all in it, I was like, is this Spider-Man far from Ithaca? You know, Spedicius, Odysseus-man. We had a good time with it. It was fun. Okay. This is all shorn up. Let's put a 2x4 plate under here. Dog in here? Yeah, both dogs are in here. Worried about my cat. We're gonna do a slope like so. Now, this is where the tube is gonna get fun. because we're going to do hose. And this is just going to have to be if I have this piece or not. And I don't know that I do. Yeah, Spider-Man Very Far From Home. What's the new one? A New Day. Brand New Day. So yeah, it's Spider-Man Far From Home. No Way Home. What was the third one called? Yeah, but this was Very Far From Home. That's absolutely correct. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to turn him, and then we're going to grab him and put him here. Oh, it doesn't fit. What's it running into? Nothing. It's fine. Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to do with that. So I'm going to try copy mirror. So it's the exact same on this side. Boom. That's your AT-AT head. I think that looks great. And then up here we've got these two antenna, but I'm not going to do this antenna there. I will put something up here. We need to greeble it some way. So let's go ahead and put... Not that. We're going to do these guys. We'll stop there for now. Because it's 12. So I'm going to go ahead and take off. I will be back on Thursday, but keep an eye on... I have a Twitch channel called Ben's Brick Designs. And my son wants to do a Twitch stream together. His Twitch ID is Gegrol, Gegrol, is his Twitch channel. So follow him. I'll put a link in here. I won't be able to simulcast to YouTube and Twitch, but I do have a Twitch account. So go follow this, and then when we go live on probably tomorrow night or Tuesday night, it'll be mostly his, but we're going to be doing it together. So it'll be a midweek stream, and I'll probably just be doing more of this. I may build, like, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We haven't talked about it. So, but that's all for now, for today. Thanks for hanging out while I did. I think we're really close on getting this almost done, and then I can start sorting parts and stuff. So this has been a lot of fun. And then we'll get the rest of them going as we get through these. So appreciate you hanging out today, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you soon. Take care.